Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, July 27th. It is 6:18 right now. Market's gonna open in about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. All right, looks good. A couple more things over here. All right, looks like we're good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. And we can start it shortly. Good. All right, so we'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. And then we'll get started with our analysis shortly. All right, looks good. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today's Thursday, July 27th. It is 6:21 right now. Market's gonna open in about 9 minutes. Looks like people are still making their way in, so let's see who's here so far. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Karen. Morning, James. Morning, Matthew. Morning, Maria. Morning, Van Harwig. Morning, Johnny. Morning, everybody. All right, so I'll get a few more moments for people to make their way in. I'm gonna go ahead and mark up liquidity over here first, and then we will get started shortly. So let me go ahead and mark up liquidity up here. One level right there, right there, right there, right there, there. And guys, if you guys are new here, I'm marking up liquidity using my high-low indicator, pretty much identifying where everything's sitting. There's this, if you guys follow like this trading meme page, there's this, I'll see if I can send it in a group before we get started. It's funny because it's funny because it's literally how we trade liquidity, but people do the opposite. Yeah, see if I could copy this. I don't know if it'll post up on here, but yeah, it's not really showing, but Yeah, because I sent this to Gian this morning. It's like a meme page, and it says when you finally learn how to trade like the banks, and then they're trading against our liquidity, and when liquidity gets hit, it goes straight to I mean, we trade in the opposite way. But if you guys are in the premium, I posted that link right there if you guys want to see it. It's literally the way that we trade, trading opposite of like everybody else. But anyways, guys, I'm going to finish marking up liquidity over here, and then we will continue on with our analysis for today. Again, guys, if you guys are just joining the room, or if you guys haven't been part of the room in a while, I'm not really answering any questions during these live sessions. I'm mainly going to be trading. So if you guys do have any questions, you're welcome to put your questions in the chat, but I'm probably not going to see them until the very end. So if you guys want to ask questions, I probably would recommend that you wait till the very end of the session, because if you post them too early, I'm probably not going to see them, and I'm not going to be able to answer them at the end. So at the end of the session, or whenever we have downtime, I'll let you guys know if we have some downtime to answer questions. But otherwise, I'm probably not going to be answering any questions during these sessions. Keep your questions for the mentoring sessions. That's where the questions are meant. So we can focus on just trading here during these live sessions. All right, so we don't really have too much liquidity up top. We have we have a lot of liquidity up bottom, but I think the sentiment is still very high. So yeah, we just have a lot of low level liquidity over here. So you guys are familiar with liquidity. This is probably going to get pre-market. Low level liquidity is going to be here in the red. High level liquidity is going to be in blue on the higher time frames. The closest high level is going to be way down here, which is about, I mean, it's not super far away. It's about 900 pips away, which is a bit of a distance, but it's not that far. So there we go. We have liquidity marked up right there. We have low level liquidity up here, up top, which is about 800 pips away. This liquidity is probably going to get pre-market. And the next level below that is going to be right there, about 500 pips away. So if you guys are looking to take these liquidity areas right here, I'd probably only go for 100 pips, because the volatility is probably not going to be very strong, in my opinion. Not at these low levels, at least. All right, so looks like we are good to go here. Market's gonna open in about 4 minutes, guys. Let's see what's here so far. Morning, Shannon. Morning, CJ. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Chrissy. Morning, Vince. Morning, everybody. All right, looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So market is opening in about 4 minutes, guys. This liquidity here got hit pre-market. I'm not in this position. I just marked it up for you guys to show you guys. These are low level liquidities, so I'd recommend probably only going for 100 pips at these levels. But I mean, we'll see what happens when the market continues to move around. Looking over here on the 1 minute, the ATR is currently at 9, which is good because it's starting to pick up a little bit. Yesterday was very low throughout the day. I mean, we'll see what happens here. Anyways, I think there was news pre-market over here at 5:30. So 5:30, there was pre-market news. I'm gonna go and mark that up real quick. News over here at 5:30. And then I think we have more news over here at 7 o'clock, 7:30. And I think that's about it. So we got medium impact news at 7, and then low impact news at 7:30. I'm gonna mark that up over here. 7:30. It's a long morning. All right, lastly, let's take a look at the overall bias. As you guys can see, they kind of change stuff up here. I hate when they do this. TradingView kind of updated their system again. Overall bias for today. Retail sentiment. Fundamental bias. long-term technicals. All right, so looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 77% short. This indicates that 77% of retail traders are currently selling. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking over here at the fundamentals, they're currently up about 100 points, under 100 points. So bullish, 77% short, fundamental bias. We'll just put plus 90 right now. I don't want to go too high. Neutral bullish. Short-term technicals, right here, price is currently neutral. It's right down the middle on these other time frames, 5 and 10, 1 minute's below. Same with the higher time frames, they're bullish neutral. So with that said, looking at this over here, this is neutral, and this is bullish neutral. So it's pretty mixed right now. There's not really much of a strong bias with regard to current direction and price. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's pretty much neutral overall, but long term, it's probably going to be bullish. So there goes the liquidity right there, guys. Got hit. If you guys took this first level that I marked up, went straight to full TP. As I mentioned, I would only go for 100 pips versus the full 300 because of the market volatility right now, and because of the low level of liquidity that's sitting right here. So market is now open, guys. You guys can see price kind of spiking around a bit. Here's the clean chart. I'm gonna go ahead and mark a opening candle right there. 8 o'clock right there. Mark up opening price right there. All right, there goes opening price. Price is kind of dropping down a bit. I'd probably wait for this to stabilize a bit, of course. So we decide to take anything. All right, so we've got opening price right there. As I mentioned earlier, retail sentiment is still 77% short. So this might be a fake out to the bottom and it might swing all the way back up, which is basically kind of what's happening right here, right now. The ATR is currently at 14. So this is good. We typically want ATR to be above 15. So the movement right now is good. As long as it stays above 15, hopefully we'll be able to take some entries. I think it will for today. There is some news today. News is following the Fed news from yesterday. We have GDP news earlier this morning. It was pretty much mixed. A lot of positive news, but advanced GDP price index was negative. Everything else was positive except for one of the news releases. So I think this right here will probably be a fake out to the bottom. And then I think eventually price will swing all the way back up. That's what I see happening over here, in my opinion. So once the market starts to stabilize a bit, as price continues to move along, we'll start looking for possible entry here. All right. All right, so price is kind of just bouncing around this area. We're just going to wait for price to stabilize a bit. It's only 632 right now. So if we get closer to 7, it'll start to stabilize a bit more. The ATR is starting to pick up a lot more. ATR is now at 15. So this is a really good thing for us right here. We've been waiting for this pretty much all day yesterday and the day before that. We're finally getting that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start marking up the levels, so that we can be prepared once entries start to present themselves. All right. So price is starting to push back up. It's correcting back up to from where it was earlier. This is exactly what I just mentioned earlier. I said price is probably going to be bullish today because the retail sentiment is still very high. The But it's just a matter of time until we get that confirmation. So we're basically just waiting for the confirmation here. Once we get that confirmation, then we will be good to go. But there's price structure right now. All right, so this is our clean chart. This is pretty much structure that I've drawn up pre-market. We'll see where price ends up going from here. It's fine if price pushes up higher. We actually want price to push up higher. That's what we're looking for. There's no buy signal here on the 5 minute yet, so there's no room for entry here at all. We'll probably be looking over here at the 1 minute first before we start looking for entry. But all right, price is pushing back to the upside right here, which is a good thing. We just need to get confirmation of direction. As you guys can see, the ATR down here is now 17. It's perfect right now. It's looking good for entry. So we're just going to have to wait for opportunity to make entry here. If you guys are taking the 1 hour entry, the 5 o'clock hit over here, there's no entry for 6 o'clock. So pretty much the only entry for today would be this one at 5 o'clock. Went to full TP right there. All right, price is pushing up right here. Let's see if it continues to push up higher. We need price to push up higher to confirm the direction, because we don't have a bullish direction yet. Yeah, exactly. Mandy said huge fake out to the bottom, swing right back up just like we anticipated. This is why it's important to have a bias. So right here, you can see prices faking out again. I wouldn't fall for this fake out here. I'd probably just wait, because you can see over here that this is technically a V1 variation. Not really, but it's a V1 pattern. It's not a V1 variation because there's no overall bias for a sell, but this is a V1 pattern to double body pending momentum. It's probably luring in some sellers before it swings right back up. So the trend meter down below is still red. We just got to wait for it to push up higher. ETR is now at 20, so it's looking nice. Anything above 15 is good, guys. Anything above 15 will provide us our opportunity for entry. But yeah, right now, it's just going to be a matter of patience until we have a confirmation of like where price is likely to keep going. Fundamentals are currently plus 82 right now, so they're not above 100. They're still going to be bullish neutral. We'll see. All right. So we're basically looking for a buy signal here on the 5 minute so that we can get the confirmation of direction. We're also looking for this 1 minute over here to continue pushing up higher so we get a confirmation of a bullish push. We just don't have that confirmation yet. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. Just gotta go grab some water real quick. All right. So we got a sell signal over here on the 1 minute. This is fine. I don't mind if price continues to drop down a little bit. If price continues to drop down, then that's cool. We can still look for sells here. There's no problem with us taking sells. The bias for the buy isn't very strong. It's just retail sentiment's kind of high still. It's currently at 77. It's now at 75. So now that the sentiment is starting to change a bit, I'm fine with taking trades in either direction. It's not super strong. I mean, it's still strong, but it's not super strong. It's not like 80% like it was yesterday and the day before that. So if we get a short-term push to the bottom, that's completely fine. We can look for these 1 minute sells. But for the most part, long-term, we're looking for a possible buy here still. All right. I've been sick lately. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I've been kind of sick lately. My voice is kind of like all over the place. Randomly got sick this week. So let's see if there's anything else here for us to look at. Yeah, overall direction here. So the higher time frames are still bullish. So I think I'll probably still be like more focused on taking a buy here. But I don't really care. If price goes down and it provides a sell entry, I'll take the sell entry. We're only going for 100 pips, so it's not like it's not a crazy move here on the 1 minute. However, on the 5 minute over here, I probably would be more inclined to take a buy because the higher time frames over here are still very bullish, as you guys can see. Even the 5 and 10 minute are bullish too. It's just the 1 minute here who keeps sitting down at the bottom, but I think eventually it's going to swing back up. Chrissy said that Cali weather. Yeah, no, the thing is it's really hot here, Chrissy, but since it's been super hot, I've been having my AC on like super like full blast all day. So I think like over the weekend I just had it on full blast and I just ended up getting sick because it was too cold inside my place. So it's probably my bad. But it's really hot over here. It's probably not as hot as Miami, but it's or Florida, but it's pretty hot out here too. All right, so we don't really have much movement here, guys. It's 6:40 right now. It's still kind of early. ATR is still high, so this is good. ATR is still at 18, but our movement is still decent. I mean, it's not really going anywhere, but we still do have volatility here, which is what's key. Chrissy said I'm burning up. I'm literally cooking down here. Natasha said degrees yesterday for us was 102. It's gonna be the same today. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know how you guys do that. Like some of you guys who are in the Midwest or over there in the South, it's super hot out there. Oh, I'm close to the beach, so it's not really that hot here. We have like a breeze. It's maybe like 90 at highest here, but it's nothing like you guys over there. You guys are like hot and humid. Yeah, Chrissy said the breeze be hot. I can only imagine out there. All right, so we're getting let's see. I mean, there's not really much movement here on the 1 minute, but price is moving. So price keeps going back and forth. You can see it better here on the clean chart. Let me see if I can make adjustments to the structure here. There's no adjustments for structure yet. Price is still, this is the nearest lower low, and this is the nearest higher high. But you can see where price is bouncing around. It's bouncing around this middle area, which is the man, I gotta get used to this. Dude, I hate when TradingView does this. They make updates and they don't give you any. They don't tell you to make the updates, and I don't know where the tools are anymore. Okay, your path. So it looks like price is going to keep bouncing around this area in your opening price, and eventually it'll make its way up, or it'll make its way down. One way or the other. So we'll see what happens, but right now there's just no direction. Price just keeps going right down here, down the middle. It's basically just churning traders right now. It's waiting for traders to really choose something like a direction, and then eventually it's going to break out of this area. They're trying to see where they want to push price, right? So just a matter of time, but you guys can see where the blue line is. That's basically where price is kind of sitting around opening price until it finally gets away from there. Let's see. DeJong said the heat is amazing as long as there's water nearby. Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for this heat, and everyone wants the heat to end. It's crazy. Casey said it's 90 already this morning in Texas. Yeah, that's crazy. Over here, it's 68. So the weather is still pretty normal here in the morning. It just gets hot midday. Maddie said open. It's between open price and 5:30 news. Asia session is right there in the middle as well. Yeah, it's right there down the middle. Johnny said he took the high-low momentum scalp at 634 for 100 pip full TP. Yes, there was one that was, yeah, right here. So Johnny over here took this trade, 634. This is a high-low momentum scalp right here. Price was below. There's a lower low. Buy signal right here, broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And right there, it pushed up to full TP. For 100 pips. Nice work, Johnny. So Johnny took one trade right there. But now we're just waiting again for this direction to push away. Price just keeps bouncing around this area, opening price. Like I mentioned earlier right here, it just keeps coming back down. You guys can see where it comes down and touches it. I think eventually price will push up though. So just gotta wait for this direction here. The ATR is still high though, so that's a good thing. The good thing is that we have volatility. The only problem here is that there's no direction. So we need direction. We have volatility. Once we get direction, we can start trading in that direction. Right now, we don't have anything. I think price will be bullish, but we just don't have anything right now at the moment. There's a bullish momentum right here, but there's no buy signal yet. So if the trend meter turns green and price pushes above this area, then great. We can start looking for, you know, momentum pullback scalp around that area. But right now, we just don't have that yet. So until we get that, there's not going to be entry for us. But this momentum signal has not been used yet. So just a heads up, guys, if we get a confirmation of direction up here, we can still take the momentum pullback scalp for this momentum here because we haven't had one yet. Zach said, I got that one too. Been loving the high-low momentum scalps for the first 30 minutes of the trading day. Yeah, if it comes up, it's good, Zach. Usually pretty solid because it continues to push in that direction, you know, to some extent. All right, we have a pending buy signal over here on the 5 minute. So this is looking good for us right here. If this is the case, we might be able to look for another entry here as well on the 5 minute because we already have a bullish direction here. We just need that momentum. Once we get that momentum, we already have the bullish trend. We can look for the retracement pullback, and then from there, we can look for possible entry. The thing that you guys got to keep in mind is that we are getting close to news. There's news over here at 7 o'clock. It's supposed to be medium to high impact. So you want to be a bit careful. I'm probably not going to trade her until that news is passed if it isn't coming anytime soon. Yeah, right here at 7 o'clock, we have pending home sales year over year and pending home sales month over month. I'm expecting this to be negative news. You guys can see over here that the consensus, so last month it was 22.2%. This month it's supposed to be 19%. So it's supposed to drop quite a bit. I'm expecting it to be down too because the interest rates are going up. With interest rates going up, people can't buy homes, right? So pending home sales are likely to be negative. That's why I'm not really looking to take any trades here because I think news will be negative, but I think price will continue pushing up. I think this is going to be a fake out. Price will be negative, news will be negative, and price will just go straight up. I think people are going to get faked out right there. That's pretty much why price isn't doing anything. So you can see over here that price again, I'm going to go back to the clean chart. So price is pretty much just ranging right down the middle, right here between these two structures. The reason for that is because price is just waiting for news to happen so that it can be manipulated, right? It's going to be manipulated at news price because I could see a lot of people thinking that price is going to come down, but realistically, I think price might come down slightly and then go straight up. It's just going to stop people out, or price might just go straight up right away. I think the market is not going to move in direction of price because everybody knows price is going to, like, pending home sales are going to be down, of course, for sure. I mean, they should be because interest rates just keep going up higher, right? If you guys understand how the interest rates work, if the interest rates go up, house is going to be a lot more expensive. Like people can't get loans to get these houses because they have to pay like, you know, way more than what they normally would. You know, back during COVID, post-COVID, interest rates were down to 3%. They're up 7%, like they're high now. They're super high. They're up to 7%. So it's a big difference. You know, if you're buying an expensive home, it's going to cost a lot. So just keep that in mind. And that's kind of what I expect. It's 647 right now. You can see prices coming right back down to the blue line right there. This is going to be the area where it keeps getting pulled back to. I think price will go sideways, probably pull back a little bit, and eventually spike back up to stop everybody out. So liquidity over here didn't get hit yet. This liquidity got hit, pretty full TP. There's no liquidity on open yet, though. So just keep that in mind, guys. Still no liquidity on open. And we'll see. But there's not really too much going on here. So we got price going sideways right now. Volatility is still high, so that's a good thing, but not very much direction. There's movement, but no direction. Let's just hope this ATR stays high. I think it will stay high. It'll probably go even higher once we get closer to news price. So here we go, as price comes back down to opening price. So you guys can kind of just use that as a magnet, basically. See how price pulls back down. Target price point is going to be this blue line right here. It's probably going to come down, touch it like it did right here, and then bounce back up or break below, and then continue just bouncing around this area. So not really a big surprise there. Yep. And look where price went. Directly to that blue line, which is open price. So even though price is dropping right here, this is probably the pre-news manipulation. Price is coming down slightly because people are hopping into sells thinking that news is going to be negative. So these are people that are getting into these sell entries early. So this is happening in 10 minutes. You can see it's already predicted to be less, a lot less actually. I mean, the month over month is going to be even higher. So you can see over here, month over month was 2.7. The reason why it's 2.7 was because the interest rates didn't go up last month, right? They went up yesterday. So now it's going to negative 0.5% for, the following month. So we'll see. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter if the news is negative or positive. Price will still do whatever it needs to do. It'll do whatever the market makers want to do or wherever they want to push it. So I don't really care what the news is going to be, but I care about where price is going to be manipulated. So even though news is negative, I'd probably do the opposite and buy as price continues to, bounce around this area. You can see exactly where it rejected from off that blue line. So, oh man, why does it do that? Okay, so my let me refresh this. My TradeOvate just logged me out. Super annoying because I'm trying to trade on my TradeOvate. Oops. Yeah, so Top Step sent out an email yesterday, guys, regarding TradeOvate. They give you guys the option change. I like trading on TradingView, so I'm going to keep it. I mean, it's not a huge deal for me because we set pending orders, but I think if you're setting like market orders, it is going to be a bit of an issue. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm going to try to, or what I might do is I might actually execute my orders through TradeOvate instead of, third-party platform. And then, I just got to figure out how to set my orders out. Let's see, order tick again. All right. So I think I'll try to set an order through my TradeOvate, and I'll see if I mean, I'll see how it works. I mean, I'm not taking entry right now. I'm looking at my TradeOvate right now, guys. I'm trying to figure out how to set like it's not like the quick trade manager where I can make quick adjustments. So I like trading on TradingView because I can pretty much just edit my order right away. Okay, never mind. I think I know how to do it now. It's just not through the DOM. It's just got to put an order ticket. Okay, I think I know how to do it. All right, guys. So we got news coming up in about 7 minutes. ATR is still pretty high. It's currently at 18 right now. So anything above 15 is solid for us because we're only going for like X amount of push anyways. There's no buy signal here for the 5 minute yet. So we have no opportunities here on the 5 minute. We're probably going to be focused here on the 1 minute at first. But again, there's no confirmation of direction yet. The trend meter down below is still red. So we need the trend meter here to confirm, and we need price to be above the pivots. So basically we need price to be somewhere above this area over here before we can start looking for entries here for a buy. I think it'll end up going up there in a little bit. It's just gonna be a matter of time until it actually pushes that high. But I'd be better off, well, I'd be more comfortable with taking buys here versus sells. So, I mean, we'll see. The trend meter is starting to turn blue right here. So it's starting to shift a little bit. It hasn't confirmed yet, but it is starting to shift a little bit. It is currently 6:54 right now. We got about 5 minutes till news. I think price will keep just bouncing around this area. You guys can see over here, I already circled it. Price is just sitting around here until news comes around 7 o'clock. Once news comes around, I think that's where we'll be able to see where price ends up pushing. The ATR is still nice. ATR is currently at 18 right now. It doesn't look like price is doing too much, but it is actually very volatile. So it's a good thing. Volatility is what we need. We need direction, we need volatility. Once we have those two, we're solid. Right now, we just don't have direction. But I feel like this is the longest 5 minutes. It's the longest 5 minutes ever because we're waiting for this to hit news right here at 7 o'clock. Once news hits, hopefully we'll have some sort of direction. There's no liquidity here yet, so you guys can see liquidity is still waiting on both ends. This liquidity is already done with, so I wouldn't mess with this one, but there's still liquidity here on both ends, on the bottom and top. Liquidity on the open still has not been reached. So the first level has not been touched yet. All right, we got 4 minutes. So we still got some time here. Looking over here at the lower time frame, it's still neutral. You can see prices below the pivots here on the 1 minute. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. 5 minute over here, prices in between the pivots. Trend meter is green. 10 minute over here, prices in between the pivots. Trend meter is green. 30 minute price is above the pivots. Trend meter is green. Same with the 1 hour. Same with the 4 hour. So long term trend over here is still bullish. Short term trend is neutral. Looking over here. Let's take a look at the news over here for CNBC. CNBC is pretty much neutral, or it's not neutral, it's bullish neutral. It's up 78 points. Looking over here at retail sentiment, it's still flat at 75%. So there's not really much of a change here. I mean, sentiment is still the same. Fundamentals are still the same. Technicals here is still the same. Everything's pretty much still the same. We got news coming up in about 3 minutes. Or about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll see where this goes. If price drops below and it stays below there, that's completely fine. We can start looking for some sells. But my guess is that price is going to fake out and it's going to go up. I think eventually price will go up. We have more news over here at 7:30, but it's not really high impact at all. It's more so low impact. It is a natural gas stock change. So it's not going to be a big deal for us. That news event, not going to be such a big deal. This one, kind of big deal. All right, we got news in about 2 minutes, guys. See where this goes. Yeah, Maddie said price might drop to increase to 75% short sentiment. It spiked back up to stop everybody out. Yeah, possibly. I think it might have an initial drop right here on the news candle, and then eventually it'll come back up, or price might just go straight up from here. So we'll see. It looks like a lot of people are stacking sells around this area. Just looking at where price was. So it looks like people are stacking up sells around this area. So I think they're probably gonna get screwed. You can see over here, these are all lower highs. It's actually a squeeze. So you can't really see it too well on the other charts, but you can see here that price is actually squeezing. on the clean chart. So you guys see how the squeeze is starting to get tighter? This means it's going to break out. So it's going to break out in either direction, up or down. So it's basically squeezing up until news right here. We get about 50 seconds till the news candle, and we'll see where this ends up pushing to, but it's squeezing right here tighter and tighter. It's like a balloon, right? The balloon gets squeezed tighter and tighter until it pops. It's going to pop and it's going to go either direction. All right, so let's see. I mean, the squeeze is pretty clear right here. It's starting to look clearer as price, moves along. We got news in about 30 seconds. Still no buy signal here on the 5-minute. We got news in about 10 seconds. We'll see where this goes. And there goes the news candle right there. There goes price drops a little bit. I'll clean that up right there. There goes the news candle right there, that red candle. There goes, it drops. Let's see, pending home sales was, let's refresh it. Pending home sales was actually positive. So let's see, month over month was positive. Let me see year over year. Year over year still hasn't updated yet. Yeah, still has not updated yet, but you can see prices coming down. And it's probably going to bounce right off the opening price and come right back up. But yeah, it moved down just like I anticipated. This is pretty much what we predicted. And I'm going to expect a correction back to the upside. All right, so it was actually positive. So the news for pending home sales was better than expected. It wasn't necessarily super positive, but it was better than expected. So they're expecting it to be negative 19. It was only negative 15. It's still negative though. So we'll see where this goes. All right, we just need some direction now. So I'm just waiting for direction here. The ATR is still at 18. We do have news price that's passed already. I'm hoping we can get at least one entry from now until the next news event. If not a huge deal. We're going to have to just sit tight, wait for an opportunity to come up. But realistically, price isn't really going anywhere. It's moving up and down, but it's not really going anywhere. So you can see over here, price is still going side to side. It's just a sideways movement right here. Right down the middle. So again, we're just going to have to sit tight and wait for this to push in a direction. We still have the buy signal here. So I'm basically, I think our main focus right here would either be first would be the 1 minute, because the 1 minute's closer to really pushing out of this area. The 5-minute, we still need the buy signal, which we haven't had yet. But yeah, the 1 minute is basically our main focus here for the most part, because if price pushes above this area over here, then we'll be solid. But there just isn't much direction here. I think eventually price will push up. It's going to have a late reaction to news, in my opinion. So we still haven't really had much of a reaction to news. We had this big red candle right here, but then it just got flat right down the middle, back to opening price. So you guys can see whenever price pushes away, it just pulls right back to this middle line, this blue line. Pulls away, goes back to the blue line. Pulls away, goes back to the blue line, pulls away down here. It'll probably go right back to the blue line. All right, so price is dropping right here. This is completely fine. If this is the case, then we might be looking for possible sells here. Same with the 5-minute over here, because the 5-minute still hasn't confirmed any The 5-minute hasn't really confirmed a sell yet here on its move. So we had a sell signal over here on the 5-minute. The trend meter hasn't turned red until now. So if this is the case, I mean, we still have opportunity here for a sell. We don't have to look for just buys. If the sell opportunity arises, and look for a sell. But right now, we still don't have anything. It's just a back and forth movement here. So I think the main catalyst here would be the sell signal. The sell signal closes right here on the 1-minute. We can possibly start looking for some sells here. There's nothing here on the 5-minute yet, but the 1-minute here could be a possibility. The ATR is still looking good. It's at 18 right now. Let's see if it pulls right back to the opening price. So again, as I mentioned earlier, guys, if price pulls away, where is it likely to go back to? This blue line right here. So basically, if price sits at this blue line, this means that price hasn't gone anywhere since open. Market opened over here at the blue line. There hasn't been much direction. There's been movement, but not direction. So if you go and just measure price movement here, price has moved about 750 pips from market open. But the thing is, it hasn't really continued in any direction. So price has gone back and forth about 750 pips. They'll push up maybe 500 pips, come back down 500 pips, etc. I mean, because realistically, if you measure from opening price right here, it's moved up maybe about 400 pips, and then down below about 300 pips. So it's not too much direction there. Thanks, Rashida. We got a sell signal over here in the 1-minute. So if this is the case, this is fine. We can maybe look for a possible sell here. But we still need confirmation of direction. So we need price to actually push down here first before we can look for any possible sell. So we need price to push down, and then we need price to retrace up. So basically what I'm looking for right here is I'm looking for price to push down below, retrace up, and continue down. That's what we're looking for right there. So we need price to push down below here, retrace up. When it retraces up from this area, I'll look for a sell right there. And then just go for a quick 100 pips, right? Nothing crazy. Quick 100 pips, in and out, done. But we don't have that yet. So we need price to push down a little lower. It's too high right here right now. It needs to drop a little lower down to this area. We get that retracement, pull back to this area, fill our order, straight to our TP right there. That's what we need. All right, so we need some direction here. Once we get that direction, we can start looking for a possible entry here. It doesn't need to be anything crazy, you know, nothing fancy here. We're just looking for that move. Once we get that move, we can hop in for a quick entry. All right, so we just need the candle to close down here because there's no direction yet. We have the sell signal, but we need to confirm direction. We have the trend here. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter's red. Pivots are angling down. We have the direction. We also need the you know, there's actually two opportunities for entry here. So I'll have two separate ones here. So I'll have this one over here on the 1-minute. You know, if we actually get a push to the downside, we also have a possible opportunity over here on the 5-minute. ATR is currently 29. It's kind of a big push. I don't know if I would take the full 29 here or the 5-minute, but yeah, if there's a retracement here, possible entry over here on the 5-minute as well. All right, so price finally pushed back like that. We may have possible entry here. So this green candle right here, it needs to close below the black line right here. If it closes below the black line, the entry is going to be, okay, there we go. We have the downwards push here now. Getting a lot of volatility right here now. All right, so we need to confirm either a continued push or we need to confirm a retracement. So the retracement either needs to close above or below this black line, or if it continues dropping, we'll wait for a later retracement. But right now, I'm just going to have an order kind of waiting over here. Not waiting yet, but I mean, basically just waiting for that retracement. We got about 6 seconds. I don't think the retracement is going to happen. All right, that's fine. So now we're just waiting for a retracement. The liquidity here just got hit, guys, on the liquidity push. I don't know if anybody is looking to take it, but I'm looking for the retracement right here. Once I get that retracement, I'm probably going to catch the retest of that liquidity. So you can see over here, it kind of faked out a little bit. It's probably, if it comes back down a second time after the retracement, then that's probably going to be the push to the downside. So if that becomes the case, the entry might happen right here at the 10. So if I get a green candle right here, entry may happen right here at this 10 mark. So I'm looking for a possible green candle right here, and then looking to possibly place my my pending order right there. If not, it's probably gonna happen up here. So you got to see where this green candle closes. If it closes below, it'll be at the 10. If it closes above, it'll be at the 20. All right, so it closed above it. It's got to be up here at the 20 then. So let's put like a pending order right there at the 20. All right, so I got my pending order right there sitting at the 20. If price continues to drop down lower, I'm going to cancel this order and we have to wait for another retracement. But I do have my pending order right there at the 20 mark. Pretty much just waiting for this to come up and fill possibly. Still hasn't filled yet. All right, the ATR is starting to die down a little bit, guys. So if it gets too low, I'm going to cancel it. Still waiting right now for this push. If price drops lower, got to wait for a new retracement. If price continues to pull up, then all right, price is dropping lower. We might have to wait for another retracement. We'll see where this candle right here closes. ATR is at 17. Not really too much of a direction here. Still got my pending order there. Waiting for it to retrace up. All right, still nothing. I still have my pending order waiting there though. So if any of these candles close below here, then I'm going to cancel it and have to wait for another retracement because the trade just pretty much restarts. There's not really much of a direction here, as you guys can see. The ATR is starting to die down a bit. It's at 16, but it's still, I mean, there's still opportunity there. So about a 1% risk on this trade, 1.5% so or so. It's not really a big risk. I'm just waiting for this here to fill. Oh, man, I hate this market. I thought the market would be better by today, but it's still not really much. It was looking nice on open and then it kind of died down a bit. The volatility here is just way too slow. It was close to like 20 ATR earlier, now kind of slowed down a bit. All right. I'll give one more chance here. If this candle here doesn't pull back or if it doesn't move forward, then I'm just going to cancel it altogether because there's just no direction here at all. So we got about 30 seconds left on this candle right here. If this candle doesn't provide anything for us, I'm going to cancel it. ATR is at 16, volatility is still very low. We got about 10 seconds on this candle right here. right, I'm gonna cancel it, guys. Just canceled my order. Yeah, Patricia said she doesn't like this area. Van Harwig said it's teasing. I know. So it actually just filled right. I'm not in the position, I canceled it already, but looks like it would have filled right there. So I'll just follow it, but I'm not gonna hop into it. It's too late at this point. It's probably gonna hit TP too. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes right back down and goes straight to TP. All right, so we're pretty much just waiting for another opportunity here, guys. There might be an opportunity over here on the 5, but see, there's about 13 seconds left on this right here. ATR is actually at 30 now. See where this ends up going to. I mean, the trade's still technically running right here. So it's actually running on both. It's running on the 5 and it's also running over here on the 1 minute. On both of these right here. I canceled my order though, so I'm not in the position right here on my top step. Just watching to see where this ends up flowing to. Yeah, there's just no direction right here. The direction is just trash, guys. I mean, I was hoping, well, the volatility is still kind of low as well. I was hoping there'd be more direction and more movement today, but for the most part, there's just not really much going on here. It's just a lot of a back and forth movement. The volatility is decent. It's not great. It's actually not that good. It's at 16. So we typically want this to be higher. Usually at this time, it's around like 20. Just providing enough volatility for people to get in and out of positions or for price to move around. But for the most part, there's just not much here, not much to work with. So we're just going to wait for another direction to be set. Once there's a direction, then we'll look for another entry. But right now, there's just nothing for us to take right now. So, all right, guys, it's 7:17. We still have a lot of time till 8. So there's no need to really force anything right now. I was hoping to maybe get into something late here or get into a later entry here for this, but I just don't like the way that this is moving. The ETR is now back, it's down to 15, so it's very low. It's not really a good time to enter anything. Because there's random spikes in price, but there's not really much of a consistent volatility push. You want something consistent, especially if you're taking these scalps, because you want to be able to get in and out of these positions very quickly. I'm trying to see if there's any news here, or anything that's really causing price to, or anything that would cause price to spike at some point. Because we're getting some spiky movements here, but they're not very smooth. They're just a little spiky. All right, sorry guys. I was gonna tell you guys I was gonna enter, but I entered this and I just pulled out right now. So I entered this for a small move over here for my MC4. I just got FOMO, guys. Sorry, I can control myself. I got FOMO right here when price came back down. I hit sell on my FTMO and then I just closed out. I took it for a small little win. I'm not going to count that trade, but you guys know what that clicking noise was. I just got FOMO. The trade hit full TP right here. It did exactly what I mentioned earlier. I said I wouldn't be surprised if this hits TP. It wasn't a clean move though. So price pulled up right here, went to some heavy drawdown, just like a random spike, and then it came right back down straight to full TP. So the trade played out perfect. It just wasn't a good trade. I got FOMO on here because I saw price coming back down. When I saw this big wick right here, I was like, okay, price is going to drop at least 100 pips. So I ended up entering the trade here for, a small profit. So you guys will see that it doesn't matter how long you've been trading for, FOMO still hits. This trade's not going to count though. I just wanted to show you guys, right, to give you guys a heads up of like what I took there. So here's the thing. Even though I'm getting FOMO, I'm still following the strategy, right? The trade was still running. I got FOMO here, but I didn't enter a random sell. I entered a sell because this trade was still running through. So when I saw this big wick right here, I was like, okay, price is going to drop at least, 100 pips. So what happened is I got in for a discount. Price pushed down right here. It pulled down. I got caught in the spread. You'll see my profits right now. I had a lot of slippage. But I'll just post this in the group so that you guys know exactly what I took. Here goes Kenny over here. Kenny with a total profit of 2,440 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Kenny. It's a great profits right there. I'll go ahead and take a look at I'll take a look at everyone's profits shortly. I'm just going to post this here so that you guys know what I took. I didn't take the trade on my top step though. I canceled it. I only took it on my FTMO. So that's a trade that I took right there. Here are my profits across all my accounts. And we're just going to wait for another entry here, guys. There's no need to force anything right now. Now I'm just going to wait for another opportunity here for entry. Or I'll leave this 5 minute. The 5 minutes still technically running. So this one's still running, guys. The 5 minute entry. The 1 minute's done. You already hit CP. But the 5 minutes currently still running. So let me take individual screenshots of my account, so that you guys can see what I locked in. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. I drew it up for you guys. I showed you guys where the entry is at. You guys, if you guys want to take the entries, you guys can. But again, like I mentioned, it was a risky entry. I wasn't even confident about it myself. I just got FOMO. And it happens. It doesn't matter how long you've been trading for, how good your trade psychology is. If the trade looks good, the trade looks good. And it looked good to me. That's why I hopped into the trade. It was still a FOMO move, though. I didn't plan on taking it. I was just watching it, and then it hit my TP, but it didn't close me out. I'll show you guys my FTMO because one of my FTMOs I locked in 1,200, and then my other FTMO I locked in almost 2,000. So that's where it was supposed to be at. My MFF as well. Locked in 630, not the full TP, but 630. All right, there may be a possible entry again right here on the 1 minute. See if I get a limit order right there. At the 10 mark. The ATR is kind of low. I'm not going to enter this one right here, guys. I was going to enter this one right here, but the ATR is kind of low. It's at 15 right now. So I was planning on entering this one right here, but I didn't. You guys can see my order ticket right here. I mean, good thing I didn't enter it because it's drawdown right now. I'm gonna sit out right now. I don't like this area right here where price is currently at. The ATR keeps changing. It goes between like 16 and 14. Anything below 15 is just, it's not it. So like if it doesn't stay above like 15, I'm not gonna mess with it. Because the problem with this here is if I enter a trade, I'm gonna be stuck in it for like the next like 10, 20 minutes. And I don't want to be stuck in a scalp move for over 5 minutes. So I'll follow the trade here, but I'm not in this position, guys. Just a heads up, not in this position here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing comes down and goes straight to TP again right here. But I'd rather miss it. If I'm not confident about a position, I'd rather miss it than take a risky position. So I'm not in this position right here, guys. Just marked it up for you guys. The ATR is just not there. You can see down here, if you guys know what I'm talking about, the ATR is currently 15. It goes between 14, 15, and 16. We typically want it to be above 15 consistently. So we want it to be like 15, 16, 17, 20, and then stay around that area because we want volatility to move in our direction. Right now, the volatility is not really moving in our direction. It's going back and forth. So with the volatility so low, the 5 minute is actually a safer trade. So you can see over here, the 5 minutes kind of going back and forth. It's still in profit on the 5 minute. The 1 minute over here would be in some Pretty heavy drawdown. It's also too close to the momentum signal right here. Momentum signal came up, price dropped below, entry's too close. I want entry to be somewhere down here. And then now the ATR is down to 14. So I for sure wouldn't take this entry right here. I kind of predicted it to get lower. You can see right there, it's shifting between 14 and 15. It's not really a good area to be trading in right now. All right, I'm just going to delete this. I don't want you guys to think I'm in the position. Right here. Damn, CJ said he's still in the 5 minute. You know, I probably would have pulled out of that 5 minute earlier, CJ. I mean, it's all good. If you're still in it, it's probably going to hit TP eventually, but it's going to go back and forth. You guys can see the ATR over here is very low. So this is what I'm always worried about. I'm worried about taking an entry and then being stuck in this entry where price doesn't do anything for like a good 10, 20 minutes. Because for these scalp moves, usually these moves hit within like 5 minutes. Like maybe the first 2 minutes, price will go straight to TP. But with the ATR so low, how it's been the past couple of days, you know, you can be trapped in this position for a long time. And for scalp moves, you're typically not supposed to be holding it for that long anyways. Did you pull out for profit? CJ, it pulled back into profit right here. So this is what sucks about slow markets. Nice. So CJ got out with 120 pips. So you still made some pretty decent profit on that, CJ. You made more than the regular 100. So you're good. All right, let me post up the rest of my profits real quick so that you guys can see, you know, what else I locked in here. Let me delete that. I accidentally posted a picture of Aaron. You guys remember Aaron? So if you guys remember Aaron from my bad, Aaron. I was gonna make a meme of him. If you guys remember when we first started trading, we used to make memes of each other. So I took a screenshot of Aaron's Instagram photo. My bad. Why is it still on here? Sorry guys, my bad. I deleted it. I don't know why it's still on here. Oh shit, my bad, Aaron. I know it's gonna be bad. Oh bad. I know. Oh, sorry guys. I turn off that camera first. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry. That was my bad. I was posting my profits and I ended up posting 1 second, guys. All right, my bad. That was a little too funny. Had a crying there for a second. Yeah, Maddie's my boy Aaron was cheesing. All right, so here are my profits right here, guys. For that trade we took earlier. This is a trade here on the 1 minute. Obviously I'm not gonna count this trade because I didn't take it on my top step. I didn't take it on the stream. I told you guys that I canceled my trade by the internet late due to FOMO. Here's my FTMO account total profit of 1,000. All right, guys, my bad. Aaron just messaged me. So yeah, my bad, Aaron. I didn't mean to post your picture up there. Anyways, my FTMO locked in a total profit of 1,260. Sorry, guys. I can't control myself. That picture was just too funny. It's just funny because I'm thinking about the meme I was gonna make on it. If you guys were around K2 like a long time ago when Aaron used to run K2 with me, we used to always make memes of each other. Well, I mean, everybody would make memes of each other. Like if you guys remember the other guys that were in the group. But yeah, I just had a bunch of ideas to make a meme of Aaron. I was gonna post it up on the trading page, on like the meme trading pages. And now Aaron knows, he has a heads up. So yeah, anyway, so here's my profits for that trade, guys. I got my FT1 number one account, total profit of 1,260. Here's my FT1 number two account, total profit of 1,960. You guys can see the slippage between the two accounts here. This is my main one, so it should have been more profit, but you can see the slippage actually, like the trade was way in profit, but it just didn't close me out. So this is my second account locked in a total profit of 1,960. Here is my FTMO, or sorry, my MFF accounts. Here's 1, 2, and 3 locked in 630, 630, and 630. So those are my profits right there. There's no entries for us right now, guys, so don't worry, we're not missing out on anything here. Looking over here at the other accounts, we have Dave over here, total profit of 30.90 on his first account, total profit of 164 on his second account, total profit of 82.40 on his third account, total profit of 17.84 on his fourth account, and then on his fifth account over here, total profit of 865. So decent profit right there. As you guys can see, Dave has a small account, but the profits add up. So they add up pretty nicely if you have multiple accounts here. So nice work right there, Dave. Let's see, scrolling up real quick, we have Kenny over here, total profit of 2,440 for the day, all wins. We've got, let's see, we've got Maddie over here, hasn't taken any trades yet. We've got Kevin over here, total profit of 19,700 for the day. Nice work, Kevin, per usual. We've got Patricia over here, total profit of 2,930 for the day, all wins as well. Nice work right there, Patricia. We've got Dejan over here. He said he had FOMO. He was in the trade and he was going to dip before it got worse. Total profit of 1,080. Nice work right here, Dejan. He let it run to full TP. So my trade actually hit TP too. It was down below it, but it didn't fill, unfortunately. That's the one thing I don't like about MT4 is that when my trade gets below profit target, sometimes it won't even close out because of the spread. So, you know, I ended up pulling out a little early. I was supposed to make 2,000 on that trade, made 1,900. Here's Zach over here. Zach lowered his lot sizes. He's climbing his way back up. Total profit of 1,975 for the day. Nice work, Zach. So nice recovery on your account. Zach was having a bit of an issue earlier. He was risking a little too much, and he had a big loss right here, about 9,000 on this one day. He got really close to almost blowing his account. He's climbing his way back up, and now he's in profit 1,900 for the day. So nice work right there, Zach. Great recovery, and you know, good transparency for yourself. This isn't necessarily for us to be transparent. It's more so to be transparent with yourself so that you don't get into that cycle where you just think that like you just sweep the bad trades under the rug, right? You're actually taking responsibility for it because you're showing me your bad trades. And then today you're making your way back up. You made adjustments, lowered your lot size, and you're going to make your way back up. So it's just going to be a matter of time until you, you know, bring that back into profit. We have Natasha over here, total profit of 53.13 on her personal account, all wins right here. And then we have Natasha's top step account over here, total profit of 458 for the day, all wins. So nice work right there, Natasha. Let's see, Kenny over here. Kenny took another trade. He took that sell with us, total profit of 2,560 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. All right. Dave, yeah. So Dave, I see your message right here. All right, cool. So Dave got the indicators perfect. Dave's gonna be making a lot more profit now. I mean, you've been pretty solid so far, Dave. So this is Dave over here who locked in, like he has 5 accounts. He just got the indicators, so he's gonna start taking his own trades. Yeah, it's gonna be a big step up, Dave. We'll I'll have that handle. I'll send a request over to the support team. We have one more profit over here from Johnny. Johnny, total profit of 625 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Johnny. So Johnny took that trade on his top step. All right, so this 5-minute trade over here is still technically running, guys. As you guys can see, it's still running right now. It's not really good. You can see the ATR is very, very low now. So you can see the ATR is now down to 13. It's not a good time to make any entries right now, guys. Unfortunately, it looks like we are actually in like real summer conditions. Before, we were like, the market was still moving during summer, but for these past 2-3 days, the summer conditions have been real. Like the volatility is very low, the ATR is very low, it's at 13. Typically, the ATR should be around like 20 right now. So for example, looking over here at like, say, the liquidity chart, or let's go over here to like a clean chart or something. Let's see. Okay, so here's a clean chart, right? Right now, it's currently 735. ATR right now is 13, or it's 12 right now, actually. It's very low. We'll look at 730 yesterday. So let's see, Wednesday at 730. ATR was at 13, same thing. ATR is very low at this time. Let's look at the ATR on Tuesday, 730. ATR right here at 730, low again, 12. Let's go over to Monday. ATR at 730 was a lot higher, is at 15. So that's typically where it should be. It should be around 15. 1 second, guys, I gotta sneeze, sorry. Got my false alarm. Let's go back to like last week. So last week was actually where the market was volatile. So last week, last Friday, you can see over here at the, actually no, last Friday was kind of slow too. It was a little decent. It was a little higher. It was at 15. So if you guys look at the ATR down below, it's around 15, 16, around 730. So you guys can see like the market is starting to slow down. Like the summer conditions didn't really show until a lot more recently. So you look over here, around like 730, ATR is around 15, 17, 18. It was a bit higher. Let's just go back really far back. Let me see how far we can go over here on the 1 minute. I don't think we can go back pre-summer, but just want to show you guys a difference. You can't really see it here because I think the farthest we can go back is right here, like July 2nd. July 2nd was a holiday. It was 4th of July, Wednesday. Okay, so I'll just show you. This is as far back as we can go. So this is July 6th at 7:30. So July 6th, 7:30 over here. If you look down at the ATR on the bottom right, it was like at like 20 to 15. Right? It doesn't really go below 15. It stays around that time until after 8 o'clock. So the volatility is pretty high. Right now, it's just super flat. It's not really useful for us, unfortunately. And hopefully it'll pick up. But I mean, I don't know, we'll see. So the 5-minute here didn't play out. It's fine. I wasn't expecting it to play out because the volatility is so low. There's just a lot of these random spikes. So you can see the volatility is back to, or it's back to 14 actually. It's not at 15 yet. But the volatility here is more of a back and forth spike. So it's not really a smooth move. I mean, unfortunately, it's just too small. It's too slow for us to really take any trades here. I was hoping we could take something, along the way, but it's not really looking like it right now. 738 right now. We'll see if price continues to, push back up or if it stays down below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. There's just not really much for us. There's not much for us to work with here because price just keeps going back and forth. Yeah, there's just not too much here. I was hoping we'd have a direction. So you can't really see it too well here, but if you go to the clean chart, you guys can see where price is at, right? It's still at this blue line. So I mean, it's pretty much right there. It's like price didn't even go anywhere. So market opened over here at 630, and then price is still at that price point. Typically, when market opens, price will typically push away from it, right? That's usually the norm. So price opened, like say, for example, all right, so this is where market opened right here, right? At 630. If price pushes away, typically this is what happens. This is what should happen. Price will push away and then it'll just keep dropping. It might come back up and then it'll just keep dropping further, right? That's usually what happens. If in a normal market, price will just keep going in this direction. That's not what happened today. If you look at price where it went to, it went nowhere. Price came down, faked out, came back up, didn't really do anything, came back, came up, and now it's back to where it was earlier. My guess is that eventually price will push up, because if sentiment is still very high, let's take a look. Sentiment is still at 75%. If sentiment is still high, I think by later today, price will eventually push up. I think eventually, if you wait long enough, price will go up. It's just going to be a matter of time until it does. But right now, we just, I mean, we just don't have that. Price just keeps pulling like literally back to this area right here in the middle. It's like, this is typical of summer conditions where there's no direction. The reason why there's no direction is because the market makers aren't really playing in the market right now. It's just a lot of retail traders who don't know what they're doing. Price just keeps going back and forth. There's no direction until until it ends up moving there. So let me check the chat real quick. Yeah, Maddie said he thinks it'll move up after the live. That's pretty much what's been happening lately. If you guys have noticed, as soon as we get off the live, market will go flat for a bit, and then maybe around 9 o'clock, price will start pushing in the direction. I don't think there's any other news for today. Let me check the calendar real quick. Like I thought, because of the FOMC yesterday, there'd be some catalyst, but really there's nothing going on. There's no other news for today either. There's just JPY news over here at 4:30. So there's Kansas composite index, but it's low impact. There's 8-week bill auction, also low impact. 15-year mortgage rate, also low impact. Just a bunch of low impact news events that are not really going to push price anywhere. Tomorrow, though, we have a lot of inflation news. So tomorrow, hopefully, this is going to be the catalyst that we've been waiting for all week. We have PCE price index, core PCE price index, personal income, employment costs, employment benefits, Michigan inflation expectations, Michigan consumer confidence or consumer sentiment. Basically, a bunch of inflation news that's coming up tomorrow. This stuff's going to go hand in hand with the interest rates news that came out yesterday from the Fed. And I think hopefully this will be a catalyst, because this happened at 5:30. So hopefully price will start to move a little crazy around 6:30 when market opens, and it'll be easier for us to catch at least one official entry. This week's been a bit of a mess. We've only taken, I think, 1 or 2 official entries this week. Everything else has been pretty much flat for the past couple of days. And again, right here, price is still right down the middle. There's just nothing for us to. So this is like the type of market that you guys should, like, your discipline should be on point today. Because the thing is, there's a lot of opportunities here to make like risky trades. But if you guys have the proper discipline, you can just sit tight. Like for myself, I didn't even have proper discipline today. I saw the entry earlier and I followed into it. But now I'm starting to see that the market's not really doing much. So we're kind of just waiting for this here to push away from opening price. This blue line right here is opening price. It's like price didn't go anywhere. If you look over here at the fundamentals, they haven't changed very much either. So the fundamentals here haven't been above or below 100 points. They've just been right down the middle all day today because there's no movement. Let me scroll up real quick. Let's see. Johnny said, yeah, sell signal came up. Dejan said, I'm going to finish my top step after I pass this FTMO. It's hard to go back and forth on my phone. Yeah, it's tough doing it on the phone, John. I don't know how you and Natasha do it, but you guys are able to do it, surprisingly. Kevin said he took the high-low momentum on the 5-minute. Nice. So Kevin actually took the buy entry right here off the 5-minute time frame. He saw the lower low right there. He saw the buy signal breaking close past pivots 1 and 2. And then he took this, I'm assuming, for about 100 pips or something like that, right, Kevin? Seems like it, yeah. So if he went for 100 pips right there, looks like a solid move. it's probably going to push up to the full 300 eventually. So if you did the ATR here, it'd be 300, 300. And it's probably just going to be, it's going to take a while, but eventually it'll probably hit up there. It's kind of similar to what happened up here. So if you see over here, we had a higher high, sell signal breaking close past pivots 1 and 2. So if you take the sell entry right here, the ATR was 20. I mean, it took some time, but eventually it did come down and hit its TP. So I think if you're doing the high-low momentum scalp, you guys might want to take a look at the ATR when taking your entries there. I mean, it's really up to you. If you want to just get in and out quickly, just go for the 100 pips. You know, if you're cool with that, some people don't like doing the negative risk to reward for the high-low momentum scalp. But if you're on the higher time frames, the ATR is going to be it's going to be pretty useful. So for example, again, right here, we have a lower low buy signal right here, broke the close past pivots 1 and 2. Same thing, the ATR, or actually if the ATR was used here, it probably wouldn't have been a good move. It was pre-market too, or actually it was like 4 o'clock. You probably wouldn't be trading at that time. There would have to be some volatility there. So like I mentioned before, guys, anything below a 15 ATR is not going to be good. So for example, right here, the ATR on this candle is 14. I probably wouldn't mess with it. This over here is fine though, because this ATR was 20. This ATR over here was 30. So it's perfect. I think eventually it'll probably keep pushing up higher. Yeah, you can see over here, these ATRs they're just too low. They're not like this ATR is 11, not even worth the risk. Let's see. This is market close. Yeah, no, it's a solid move right there, Kevin. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So Kevin only went in for 100. He got in at a discount, then it went straight up to his TP right there. So nice work off that trade right there, Kevin. Other than that, if there's any other questions in the chat, guys, let me just scroll down the list real quick. I think there was one more from Shiv. Shiv said no entries today. Looks like I'll be back tomorrow, but happy with this week so far. Yeah, Shiv didn't take any entries today or yesterday, I don't think, but he's been doing pretty good. Looking at like Shiv's profits from, actually he took a trade yesterday. So Shiv didn't take a trade today, but yesterday he was up 702. And the day before that, he was up 112. And the day before that, he was up 158. So you've been pretty consistent, Shiv. You know, I think that's a good decision that you're probably sitting out for right now, because it's just not worth the risk taking these trades here. I mean, even myself, I'm more so focused on these quality entries versus these risky ones. Let's see, Rashida's asking, is that a pullback they just hit for a buy? Let's see, on the 1 minute time frame. Kind of. So it's a little risky, Rashida. So I'm going to look at the one, I think you're talking about this big red candle right here, right? Yeah, because for this red candle right here, there'd be no pullback right here because the entry would happen down here. But for this one over here, price pulled up, pulled back right here, the entry would have happened right there. It's kind of tricky because there's no confirmation of direction, like it's not very strong, but you can see that price is above the pivots. The trend meter was green initially, probably before this candle closed. So I probably would have taken it. If it was me, I probably would have taken it. If it was me and I was feeling FOMO. So right now I probably wouldn't have taken it, but if I was feeling FOMO and I felt confident about it, I would have taken it. So we had a buy signal right here. Price was above the pivots. Trend meter was green, but it turned blue on the specific candle. And then from right here, the entry would happen right there at the 30 mark. Yeah, I would have gotten filled and would have went straight to TP right there. So yeah, that would have, technically, if you're following the criteria, it would be considered an entry. But depending on the market conditions here, also the ATR is kind of low. It was at 14. So that's another reason why I would have like sat out of it. Yeah, it was at 14 right there. If it was like 15 or 16, I would have been all for it. I would have taken it, because if the ATR is at 15, then that gives me opportunity to catch at least a 15 point move, right? So if my TP is 10 points and the ATR is 15, that's how much it would push. Right here, the ATR was 14. So if we do that and I let the trade run, Look how far it pushes up to. It pushes up to 14 points, right? So that's why I don't really like taking it when the ATR is below 15, because I want to cover that guaranteed push right there. That's why the ATR is so important for me personally when I'm taking these entries. Yeah, exactly. No problem. Let's see. Yeah, you're right, Rashida. Looks solid. I mean, I wish the market was more smoother. If it was moving a lot smoother, then I'd be all for these entries here. But the volatility is just too low. ATR is down to 12. I wouldn't even bother taking any trades here, guys, because the problem with it being at 12 is that just means that price will range for 12 points. It doesn't mean that price will push in your direction for 12 points. It means that it'll go back and forth for 12 points right here. So this is why it becomes an issue. Let me go over here and show you guys an example of like why I don't like trading when the ATR is below. So say, for example, you have an entry right here, right? ATR right now is at 12. This is the problem. If price goes into drawdown, this is where it's going to range. So if it's at 12, it's going to go back and forth about 12 points. So that's a problem, because if you're stuck in this position, you're not going to be able to get out of it, right? You're probably going to push up a little bit. It'll push down, push up a little bit. It'll just keep bouncing between this range until eventually you'll either get lucky or you'll get unlucky, right? So just, just a little heads up if you guys are not understanding why the ATR is so important. Because it's basically giving a heads up where price is going to range from. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to push in one direction that far, but it's going to range for about 11 points. And if your TP is 100 points, it's not going to cut it, right? Yeah, exactly. Kevin said that makes sense. Yeah, I was trying to explain like why the ATR is so important, but average ATR means average true range. So it's basically giving you what the true range is between from now and the next candle. So that's why I like it to be above like 20 points. Because for example, if you're going to take an entry here, like again, say for example, you're taking a long position, right? Your TP stop loss is set to 10,250 like that. If the average true range is set to say 20 points, right, on a busy day. So if it's at 20 points right here and price is ranging right here, like you can see that price can probably range within this area. Like it can go to drawdown, but it's going to give you enough push. Like the price can probably push through this area, go to drawdown, but eventually it'll go back up to your TP. So that's why the average true range is really important, in my opinion, for these scalp moves. You want to have enough movement to reach your TP. Yeah, Marina said price sucks today. It does. It sucks just like it did yesterday and the day before that. It seems like we're starting to get into like really deep summer conditions. We are going to August. We are going deeper and deeper into summer. Typically, the market doesn't move this slow, but every summer is different. Some summers are still busy and they're still moving, but some summers are just really slow. It seems like a lot of people are actually taking vacation this year. COVID, nobody took vacation because everyone was just home. So everyone was still trading during summer. Post-COVID, people were still home as well. I think now that we're so far away from COVID that people are actually going on vacation, and it's just causing the market to be super flat. They're on vacation or they're just not trading at all. Rashida said the candles are different on MC4 and Trading View. Yeah, I'm looking at them right now, Rashida. They're a bit different. It's probably because of those spikes that were happening earlier. One of them is probably lagging behind a little bit. All right, guys, it's getting close to 8 o'clock. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. The volatility here is just too low, guys. I'm looking for a possible entry here, but it's just not looking like we're having one. Maddie just mentioned that the sentiment increased a little bit. It's now at 76%, so they're starting to stack some sellers. I think this will set up for either today or tomorrow. So I think either by today, price will go up and stop these people out, or it'll keep dropping today. And then tomorrow for the news, because we do have high impact news coming in tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. We have core PCE price index month over month, employment cost index quarter over quarter, personal income and personal spending. And then on top of that, we have a revised UOM consumer sentiment. So it's a bunch of inflation news right here regarding price index and for the consumer sentiment. which is going to be a catalyst for price to move tomorrow. Looking over here at the forecast, so looking over here previously last month, it was at 72.6. They're forecasting it to be exactly the same. For core PCE price index, you can see over here they're forecasting it to be a little bit less. Let's see what it looks like. So it says actual greater than forecast is good. So if it's higher than 0.2%, it'll probably be good. But again, it doesn't really matter. Like, I don't care if it's good news or bad news, because price is still going to do what it needs to do. And I'm just using this as a catalyst to push price around. So I don't care if price goes up or price goes down. All I care about is that price is moving. So yeah, other than that, guys, there's not really much for us to take here. The ATR is down to 11. It's even lower than it was earlier. There's a possible entry over here if you guys are looking to take momentum pullback scalp. Not one I would take, but there is one that's setting up right here on the 1 minute. Again, I wouldn't take it because the ATR down below here is currently at 11. So again, like I mentioned just a little while ago, if the ATR is at 11, this is what the range is looking like. So it's not going to be enough to hit your TP. Even if your entry gets filled over here, it's just going to range for a bit before it either pushes up and reverses on you or hits your TP. So it's not a trade I would personally take. If you look over here at the clean chart, price has still not gone anywhere. So I drew this structure earlier this morning on market open, and you can see that it's actually getting tighter. Yeah, so there's a range right there for you guys. Not really much. There was a bigger range earlier, and now the range is just getting tighter and tighter around this area right here. So as you guys can see, it's not a good area to trade in, because it's just going to keep ranging between this area. The ATR is so low that, I mean, it's not even worth the risk. If you go over here and measure this price range, it's 40 points, which is like nothing. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. It's 7:55. If there's any other questions that you guys have, let me check over here real quick. We have Andrew over here. So Andrew said he wrote it back up to open earlier when it broke out of the small range, and he's now done for the day. Total profit over here for the day is 1,255. Nice work, Andrew. All wins. So Andrew right there took that and then kind of bounced around. So solid profit right there. Looking over here, we have Kevin over here, Kevin Porter, total profit of 681 for the day. Nice work, Kevin. Nice recovery on your account. I know you kind of played around a bit, but you're back on track. So nice work over here. Total profit of 681 for the day so far. We've got Maddie over here, total profit of 840 on his Top Step account. Nice work right there, Maddie. Here goes Paul. Paul said he took an L today. He was at the bottom liquidity. Yeah, it happens, Paul. It's okay. At least your loss there wasn't so bad. It was like, you know, you'll make it back eventually. It's just gonna be a matter of time until you can make it right back. Maria said that trade just hit. Yeah, so it just hit right there. So the trade filled right there, and then you just get these random spikes. So there's no consistent volatility right now, but you can see the entry right here hit. So this is a 1 minute entry that I marked up right now. I said, if you guys wanted to take it, I marked it up for you guys. I wasn't going to take it, which I didn't, obviously, but it did hit, went straight to CP right there. So as you guys can see, there's entries to take. It's just the volatility is so low right now that it's not really worth taking these entries. You know, just save your capital for a better day, especially right now, because FTMO and all these funding companies, they don't require a time limit anymore. So you don't need to pass within 30 days. You know, you might take longer than 30 days to pass, but you guys got to keep in mind that you are trading in the summer. So, you know, you can't really expect much in the summer. The market's slow. There's still money to make. There's still money to be made in the summer, but there's also money to be lost. So just keep that in mind when you guys are trading. You don't have to rush anything. There's no pressure. Like, if you can just focus on taking 1 or 2 good trades a day, or even 0 good trades a day, but overall a few good trades a week, you know, you guys are eventually going to pass. You're eventually going to get funded. You're eventually going to get a payout. It's just really being smart about your trades. So, oh gosh, yeah. So this is Kevin's actual. So Kevin was trading on a practice account before. He's now on his actual Top Step. So now he's doing good. Oh, so that's your first trade then, huh? Oh, yeah, that's your total PO. Yeah. Nice work, Kevin. Yeah, here we go with price dumping super heavy now. It's exactly what Maddie and Patricia were mentioning earlier. They're saying that, as soon as we get off this live, price is going to pick up. I'm not going to risk it though. I need to stick to my game plan. So my game plan is to not trade after 8. And it's been working perfect for me. I've been having like very consistent days, consistent weeks, consistent months. If you guys want to trade after 8, that's really up to you guys. But for me personally, if you guys understand where your strengths and weaknesses are, my strengths are trading before 8 o'clock. My weaknesses are trading after 8 o'clock. So for me, I'm not going to chase this move here. However, the volatility is picking up a bit. So if you guys are looking to trade, I would just warn you guys to be careful, because increased volatility is not always a good thing. There's something here that's pushing price, of course, and you probably don't know about it. Let me check my Top Step real quick. Top Step has a good news folder here. Let's see, it says US Treasury names green energy research executive as new climate counselor. So that's the news that just came out right now. If you guys are on Top Step, they have this cool news calendar right here that it gives you actual like breaking news. So like right here, you can see how price just spiked right now to the bottom. You can just look over here and see if there's anything that updated, like any of these articles and stuff. And they got a pretty good like markdown of like everything that kind of happens. I don't see anything that happened right now specifically at 8 o'clock. So I don't know what caused a spike here. This probably was just some random manipulation. So, all right, guys, it's 8 o'clock. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Unfortunately, there were no official entries for today, so we just couldn't take anything official, unfortunately. But it happens, guys. So just keep that in mind. We're in the summer market conditions where the market's not it's not supposed to move very volatile. But this is just going to prepare you guys for a better market once the fall does roll in. So, all right, guys, other than that, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. If you guys have questions, reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here, same place, same time tomorrow.